Back again here at the Freedom Factory as we are getting ready to roll our next feature of the night. And for the first time ever here at the Freedom Factory, we welcome the Samson Performance Restoration Legacy Cars, presented by Painstaking Art Tattoo Parlor of Houston, Texas. Do not adjust your television sets. You're seeing miniature-looking, almost kind of cup cars. They're similar to the series that races up in the Carolinas, the Allison Legacy series. We've got drivers from the state of Texas, North Carolina, and Alabama joining us here tonight. Starting on the pole in the 5F is going to be Weston Freeman out of Randleman, North Carolina, winner this year at Florence Motor Speedway. On the outside is going to be the number 337 of Justin Reeves out of Mobile, Alabama, winner earlier this year at Mobile, as well as top 3 efforts at 5 Flags at Mobile. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the 5 of Brian Benedict out of Cypress, Texas. Runner-up finish earlier this season at 5 Flags Speedway. And then starting to the outside of row number 2, out of San Antonio, Texas, is going to be Delilah May. And then rounding out the field, trying to be like Biff, in the number 16, out of Universal City, Texas, is going to be Mike Knotts. Going to be a 20-lap feature here tonight for the Samson Performance Restoration Legacy Cars. First time here at the Freedom Factory. Some very, very cool looking cars. And these things, they're going to boot, scoot, and boogie around this place. They are faster than the Crown Vics that we just saw out here. So for the first time ever, great to have these cars with us here tonight. And getting ready to put on a show here for our first feature of the night. The Samson Performance Restoration Legacy Cars are green here at the Freedom Factory. Kind of have a sound to like a mini stock or a modified mini or a super mini late model. But definitely smaller scaled cars, kind of look like what the Cup cars looked like about 15, 20 years ago. Kind of in like those late 90s, kind of earlier 2000s. I guess you would call that the Gen 5 Cup car. Kind of scaled down, and I got these motors here and things, man, they put down a lot of power, not a ton of weight to these cars, and they can get around this 3/8 mile pretty quickly and pretty fast. And so far, it's Weston Freeman showing the way over Brian Benedict. A couple of 5 cars out front trying to pull away from the 337 of Justin Reeves, who's back in 3rd. Lila May trying to hang on to the top 3, running back and forth as it looks like Mike Knotts is a little bit off the pace. He has lost sight of the leaders. And with these cars, you know, a lot of room to move around down there in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We'll start to see as the laps continue on. If the drivers start to get a little bit more adventurous and kind of search around the racetrack to find a little bit of additional grip and a little bit of additional speed. And it looks like Weston Freeman has been doing that. He just ran his fastest lap of the race, which was a 17:43. And he was about 0.2 of a second quicker than Brian Benedict that last time by, but Benedict a little bit better this time. But still losing a little bit of gap and a little bit of ground to the race leader as Weston Freeman looking to start to pull away as we're 5 laps in. Oh, got a car up in smoke, and it's Mike Knotts. Hard contact into the outside wall there, as you see. Might have put a little bit of oil down. And you saw him kind of tank slap the outside wall there with the rear of the car, and that 16 machine brings out our first yellow of the night. As we get ready to roll on once again with the Samson Performance Restoration Legacy Cars. AJ going to show them 1 to go. And we'll get ready to go back to green once again. A couple of 5 cars up on the front row. That's going to include the number 5 of Brian Benedict on the outside, and Weston Freeman in the 5F in that black and white and gold number 5. Getting ready to go back to green. 6 laps complete, 14 to go. We're back on our way here at the Freedom Factory. And it looked like Justin Reeves in the 337 taking a peek to the inside that last time by, trying to grab that 2nd spot away. And we got drivers hailing from the state of Texas, North Carolina, and Alabama in the field tonight. Top two running cars right now, Weston Freeman hailing out of Randleman, North Carolina. And Brian Benedict out of Cypress, Texas, trying to hold off Mobile, Alabama's Justin Reeves. All three states represented up front there in the top three. Good to have these cars for the first time in action here at the Freedom Factory, and very impressed with their lap times, faster than the Crown Vics. And if you're familiar with either mini stocks or modified minis, kind of comparable, but a little bit smaller scale to those cars, but kind of similar power and power plant to those cars. As they come by the start-finish line, we are halfway home. It's been all Weston Freeman so far. Weston doing a nice job so far, maintaining a little bit more than a half a second lead over Brian Benedict, but looked like he picked up a good little bit there on that last lap, and he did. He was about 0.3 of a second quicker than Benedict, so that's going to stretch the gap to over 0.8 of a second, and we'll see if Freeman has gone even faster this time by. Check the gap here at the line. It was 0.8 of a second last time by. This time it's grown to 9. So Freeman consistently lap in and lap out, anywhere from 1/10 to 0.3 of a second quicker than our second place running car. Earlier in practice, top three were separated by, at one point, just 0.008 of a second. And then that eventually changed to 0.06 of a second, but a very, very tight field earlier in qualifying and in practice. But you can see the drivers, the handles start to go away for some of the cars, including Brian Benedict. Saw him kind of out of the corner of the screen there. You saw him kind of slide. Unable to kind of keep the car planted to the bottom of the racetrack like he would want to, like Weston Freeman has, who opened the gap up to 1.2 seconds the last time by, and it grows to 1.3 as Freeman is flicking them off and putting them down with less than 5 to go now. For these Sampson Performance Restoration Legacy cars presented by Painstaking Art Tattoo Parlor out of Houston, Texas. Making their first trip, for several of these drivers a long trip, to be able to be here at the Freedom Factory for the first time. Hoping to maybe see these cars back in action again here in the near future. And right now, Weston Freeman doing a hell of a job out front. Continuing to extend his lead now to almost 1.5 seconds over Brian Benedict. Getting ready to come now here to 2 laps to go. No challenge whatsoever for Freeman as he's 1 lap away from victory. A red flag and caution that came out on lap number 6 does not disrupt Weston Freeman here tonight at the Freedom Factory. Coming out of turn number 4, checkered flag is in the air as Weston Freeman wins the Sampson Performance Restoration Legacy Car feature presented by Painstaking Art Tattoo Parlor of Houston, Texas, holding off Brian Benedict, Justin Reeves, and Delilah May. So down in Freedom Factory Victory Lane, where we'll get ready to hear from our top finishers here. Driver coming all the way from North Carolina to be here tonight, and a winner at the Freedom Factory. Give it up for your winner, Weston Freeman. We'll let Weston get the rest of the safety gear off here, and we'll go get a quick word with our winner. There you go, Weston. Throw that on real quick. All right, Weston, congratulations. Great run tonight. That red flag kind of messed things up a little bit there. Your momentum, you were looking really good earlier on, but man, once we fired back off again, you were consistently about 1/10 of a second, 2, maybe even some laps 3/10 of a second quicker than Brian back there. Congratulations. What'd you think of your first trip here to the Freedom Factory?
Thank you. I think it was really cool. I had a lot of fun here. I think it's cool coming out here to the YouTubers racetrack. I think everybody coming out here and racing is really cool. I really didn't want to be out here by myself. I thank you for all the competitors that gave me enough of my money. Overall, me and my dad did a good job working on the race car and had a good weekend.
You did. You had a solid run out there, and these are some really, really cool cars. And these things fly around this track. Big 3/8 mile track here with some banking. Looks like a lot of fun back there, but most importantly, brother, that's an awesome-looking trophy you're going to get to take back with you to North Carolina. What do you think of that?
The best one yet.
Best one yet. Anybody else you want to give a shout-out to and thank here tonight?
I want to thank my mom for helping my dad working on the car. I want to thank my dad mostly for working on the car and in long nights at the shop, on it, helping it go fast and help me win.
You guys did a great job here tonight. It's going to make that trip back to North Carolina working. Congratulations, brother. Great job here tonight. Weston Freeman, your winner tonight here, and able to hold off Brian Benedict, bringing it home in